Hi guys, we're back. I'm RJ. This is Mike and JR with me. So today is going to be an in between episode of sorts. No guests for now. We have some people in line, but for today, we just decided to be the three of us. Uh, shooting the stuff and talking about things, right? Okay, so
Yeah.
I'll start off just by sort of doing a quick intro with the three of us. Just talking about how we met because I don't think we've talked about this in any of the
Mm.
podcasts yet. Yeah, so
Nice. A
um,
background story.
yeah, pull up your chairs, guys. Try to keep it quick. Okay, so uh, we all pretty much met in gym that I previously owned, CrossFit Mad Minute in Makati.
Mhm.
Um, Mike was the first one that I met.
Right.
You
Yep.
did CrossFit there, right, for a bit?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah. Backstory for Mad Minute was I actually did my foundations at Mad Minute. RJ was the coach and probably didn't remember I was in the foundations class. But yeah, so I'd actually been to Mad Minute before that. I think that was maybe like 2014 or 2000 when it just opened. Like it was
Yeah,
less than a
14,
year old.
13 or 14.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So briefly met there and then reconnected a couple of years ago.
2017.
17, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So long story short, I was doing kind of a clothing brand, a fitness clothing brand. So we had touched base to do some events at Mad Minute. I think it was for that we
Yeah.
kind of reconnected. And then I ended up working out again at Mad Minute anyway.
And then I learned that Mike did jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
So we talked about that. I expressed my interest. I've always wanted to try that out.
Mm.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And then we ended
So
up starting a jujitsu club at Mad Minute that eventually became Alpha Jiu Jitsu Academy a year or so later.
Nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
there. That's pretty much Mike, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then JR, uh, we sort of met the first time.
In a
Not sort of.
seminar.
We met the first time at a strength seminar,
Yeah.
strongman seminar, rather. Right? Because I also want, like, I guess that's sort of one of my things. I like to try out a lot of different sports.
Yeah.
Pretty much what the CrossFit ideal, right? Always learn new sports. So that's what I tried to do. So
When was that?
when was that?
2019? Right?
Was it 2019?
I think so. Or like,
Probably.
yeah.
Early 2019, probably. Yeah. So there was a strength seminar by an Australian.
Thomas
Of course, I
Claxton.
forgot
Yeah.
his name. Thomas Claxton. There you go. Yeah, it was a pretty cool event. A week, 2 days with 6 implements. I think we learned how
Yeah.
to
Somewhere around
lift.
there. Yeah.
And then
We
at
did.
the last day, we did a mini comp.
Yeah.
We
I got too
did.
serious there.
Yeah. So yeah, what implements were those?
Let's see. What did we do? First, we
First was the
learned.
log press.
Yeah, the log
Right.
and the carpool. That was the first day, right?
I was gonna say there was a truck involved there somewhere.
Yeah. There's a truck pull.
That was
And
fun.
shout outs to Andrew because we borrowed his SUV.
Right.
Yeah. And
And
then
then
second day, your Atlas Stone.
Atlas Stone and Circus Dumbbell.
Yeah. Atlas Stone, like deadlift and then shouldering,
Yeah.
circus dumbbell, and tire flips also.
Yeah, tire flips. Yeah, we did that too.
Yeah.
And then honestly, I was kind of surprised of how strong you were when we were doing it.
Oh, we were supposed to sort of like the two of us, and there was Nige. was that or
Yeah,
something?
Nige, yeah. Coach
Nige,
Nige.
yeah. The three of us were the small guys.
Yeah. No, even Coach Pao.
Oh
He
yeah,
was
Coach Pa
pretty
also.
skinny,
Right,
but then
right,
like
right.
he did freaks of
Yeah.
nature strength kind of thing.
Yeah. So
And
we were
then
sort of like the competitors when we did the final event.
then after that I went to Mad Minute to start a gym. Like I rented space from you guys.
Yeah, so that's where we met, right?
Yeah, that's where we
Mad
met. And I never did a CrossFit class. I never joined any of them because back then I hate to say it, but I didn't respect CrossFit.
Yeah.
But now
Right.
I do. It's very humbling. I still don't want to try it. And after that, we all talked together, right? About like
Right.
starting the gym again, like being partners and everything. So
Right. Then COVID happened.
yeah, and then COVID happened.
And now we're here.
So plans are still underway. Obviously, we're just waiting for the proper timing
Yeah.
for COVID to go away.
We don't wanna start running into a face plant, right? So
Right.
Yeah.
yeah,
Hit the road running into a brick wall.
exactly. So
Cool.
yeah, but lots of cool things in the pipeline.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely stay tuned for those announcements for sure.
So uh
Yeah.
I met the two of you guys because pretty much I wanted to try these different things.
Mhm.
So he
So
was looking for free classes.
yeah, doing the free trial thing everywhere.
Yeah, you joined Aztec too, right? For a little bit.
Yeah. Or
He-
bringing the activities into the gym that I wanted to
right. Yeah.
try.
So
So
it
I
was
could,
it was an unintentional bonus.
yeah, bonus for me.
Yeah.
I can do these for free. And I don't need to
Right.
travel because they're all in the
You
gym
joined a comp
already.
for free too.
Just
Yeah,
bring it to the gym. Bring it to the gym.
exactly. I got my MO got busted, huh?
Right. Kettlebell too, right? Because he got all of us
All
into
right.
kettlebell as
Yeah.
Exactly.
well. Yeah, but awesome.
Yeah.
It kind of turned out good though. So now hopefully when we open, you kind of have a one stop shop
Mhm.
Yeah.
thing for all your fitness requirements.
And talking from there, we do have a lot of similarities with our training, right, and our
Right.
philosophies, but
Mhm.
there are also quite a bit of differences.
Right.
Or maybe the philosophy is pretty similar, but like the application
Yeah.
uh, can
Right.
differ quite a bit.
Yep.
Mhm.
For my end, I started my fitness training with calisthenics, bodyweight training, and sort of like that's where I always come back to.
Right.
I've done weightlifting a long time, CrossFit, but always it's sort of like a spiral, and it always comes back to a phase where I do bodyweight training,
Mhm.
and because for me that's sort of one of the uh, foundations of your fitness, being able
Right.
to control your body. And um, my journey in fitness started when this entire functional training thing got popular. So I thought about it, researched it, and what stuck to me was the building fitness needs to be applicable. So my background, even before fitness training, was martial arts. So I wanted to train to be able to get more agility, more control, be able to manipulate my body better, more efficiently. So bodyweight training sort of came naturally as a result of that journey for me. Yeah. Also because of that, like making your fitness functional, I tried as much as possible to be well rounded. So as as along with bodyweight training, a big proponent of mobility, of being able to be strong where you can move, and being able to have a lot of control and a lot of uh, range of motion where you're strong also. Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
So there. Yeah.
Cool.
Um,
Yeah.
th-
So my kind of fitness athletic story started um, initially was martial arts, Kenpo karate in the US.
oh yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. So I did that for I think 3 years.
Mm.
Um,
Hmm.
that was kind of my first, I guess, official like martial arts school. So I did that. I was on the demo team for a little bit, and then I got into competitive junior tennis. So that was basically it was basically tennis through high school, and then in high school I did a few other varsity sports. I mean the typical basketball, like soccer,
Mhm.
volleyball, um, and then when it got to like after basically my education, it was work and kind of put away all fitness literally for a few years. And then when I was coming back, it was really at the beginning of kind of the MMA boom. So I got into Brazilian jiu-jitsu in the early 2000s, and then basically have been doing that ever since. And then a few years ago, it was finding CrossFit, really kind of as an addition to my jujitsu. Like I felt like um, I needed to get stronger and to be able to I guess work on my cardio outside of just doing jujitsu. So from then it was really CrossFit that kind of brought the weightlifting back. I mean, especially in the Philippines, there was that initial boom of the global gyms where it was like, fitness first, and it was, kind of the bodybuilding aesthetic, but I wasn't getting what I was looking for doing that. And then when CrossFit became popular, um, I it just like jujitsu, the constantly varied workouts were the thing for me. Like it was very exciting to have something new to do every day, as opposed to like your typical uh you know 3 sets of 10 reps, buys,
Back and
tries,
buys.
back and
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So CrossFit kind of was a good mix with jujitsu in that sense, because jujitsu also kind of has the same, I guess, activation in the sense where everything it's always different every day, right? So that's been kind of the focus of my training. So now I coach jujitsu. I'm the head coach for Alpha Jiu-Jitsu Academy, and then um, also working on some other certifications. I also am kettlebell certified and then nutrition certified as well. So those are the main things right now. Working on that L1, but it's so expensive, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So basically, that's kind of been the fitness journey, and the focus is just really um, trying to do things to augment my jujitsu. Oh, I also do a little bit of running as well. So a little bit of OCR, so that's mixed in it as well. But that's more, I guess, more recent over the past like year or two, especially with COVID. Like there's not really a lot of gyms open. So
Mhm.
basically doing a lot of road work and a lot of calisthenics as well, just working out at home.
Cool. And for me, I started my fitness strength journey around 2017. And before that, I tried to play soccer, but because of asthma, I hated it. I couldn't do cardio. So breathing sucked and everything. And then I got into watching powerlifting all of a sudden on YouTube. And after that, I wanted to try it. So I went to Bakal gyms and started trying out deadlift, squat, and all of that. Even without prior body weight work
Mm.
or like even lighter weight, I'm guilty of bro lifting and ego lifting. So I would max out every training session. And for me, I also was guilty of like doing the quarter rep squats and stuff like that.
Right.
And after finally speaking to a coach in one of the gyms saying like for advice and everything, he's saying like try to go better for mobility so that you could go deeper in the squat and you wouldn't round your back also for the deadlift. I got more serious. So after that, like give like a couple years, I started watching strongman, and that's my specialty right now. That's my focus. So
Nice.
with strongman, I watched competitions, and I realized that there's a local strongman group here, which was great because then I could actually try things out. I could talk to people who are into it, and with that, right now I'm still training strongman somehow. I have a space that I have stones and a bar and plates, so it's great to still practice it even during pandemic. But in between that, especially now with a quarantine, I'm focusing more on GPP and cardio just to get my stamina up again. And
All
that's
right.
about it.
Nice. So I guess the next thing is how's oh wait, I'm muted. Am I on mute? No. I guess the
You're
next
good.
thing now is how COVID or the pandemic has changed your training.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, I guess you sort of talked about it already, JR, right? With your
Yeah.
home gym. Yeah. For me, I'd say, and I guess that's also why I mentioned that I always go back to calisthenics.
Mhm.
For this time around, this is the reason why I went back to calisthenics. The
Right.
pandemic got
Mhm.
me isolated at home a lot of times. Right now we have that 1 week ECQ, so I just want part of it sort of like an experiment for myself. I want to prove that even without fancy stuff, you can do a lot.
Mhm.
Right.
So
Yeah.
pretty much body weight for most of my training. But with floor based body weight training, you can't really do pulling exercises. So, and then I don't have any pull up bars or whatnot here at home for body
Right.
weight pulling exercises. So, I use a sandbag for my pulling exercises right now. So,
Nice.
yeah, pretty much floor based calisthenics and then sandbag training for pulls.
Nice.
Mm. Nice.
Yeah. So obviously there's no jiu-jitsu. There hasn't been for a long time. So yeah, I've just been trying to kind of stay fit in general. So again, it's home workouts. I do have kettlebells at home, so that's cool. Um, I do have a barbell, but to be truthful, that doesn't get used very often now. Um, then when before the end of the year, I was doing a lot of endurance work, so a lot of cardio, road work, stuff, kind of preparing for OCR. I did a virtual OCR with one of my students as well. Um, but basically, it's just been home workouts. Just trying to stay fit in general. Uh, yeah, like I'll admit also, like I'm very lazy to do mobility work right now, so everything's a little bit tight. But I mean, I think just making sure I get in some sort of workouts during the week, I think is what's important right now. So basically, it's home workout, kettlebell or dumbbell workouts, and then body weight stuff. And then when we can, obviously now we can't because we were on lockdown again. But when we can, I like to get outside a couple times a week and do 3 or 4 kilometers, sometimes 5, or I'll do something stupid like row 18 kilometers. So,
Wow.
but that's basically what working out's been like the past year.
Mm.
That's terrible. A year, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, can't wait to get back on the mats though, for sure.
Yeah. Mm. As for me, I've mentioned that I made a little space for a gym, and it's mainly because I see that home gyms are the foreseeable future of
Right.
training in general, especially like barbell work. Like we don't know when we're going to be able to actually go to a gym
Right.
as like normally, like every day or something.
Yeah.
So I kind of invested in it, and just to keep with strongman and powerlifting, like I know there won't be a competition anytime soon for strongman. So right now I'm just setting goals of what I can do that's sort of like a comp simulation,
Right.
and hopefully that's what keeps me busy with during the pandemic. And then also it's injury free. This is the first two these are the first 2 years that I'm injury free, so hopefully I
So
can do
Cool.
better.
right. So something good did come out of COVID for you.
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, so I guess that's it for like our brief-ish introduction, our backgrounder for the three of
Right.
us. Next, let's talk about, or it's still sort of like
Yeah.
getting to know us, right? It's sort of like a scrapbook type thing. One favorite fitness pet peeve
Uh-oh.
for each of us. I guess I'll start. So my pet peeve would be ego
Yes.
lifting or doing or like being more performative, if that's a word. I guess that's a
Yeah.
word, right? With your training rather than actually training, right? Or yeah. So I mean, I post on Instagram also, but I try to make it more informative or um, putting putting a window into my journey,
Right.
right? So it's not I don't think I've posted like a PR in
Mhm.
years, right? So it's all about it's yeah, right? So it's all about sharing the ups and downs of the journey, um because that's pretty much the hardest part of it, right? Staying
Yeah.
consistent. So and that's why I'm very peeved with ego lifting, because it's super unsustainable. Or if you can sustain it, it means that you're sustaining something that's sort of, for the lack of a better term, dysfunctional, I guess.
Right.
You're right, because you're just trying doing something not really for its purpose. Like you're doing physical training not for physical training, but to just get
So
people to
for
look at you,
attention, right?
right? Either yeah, in the gym, uh or on social media. So um and I guess it's fine if you do that and you're like doing things legit, like it's an actual PR, you post your competition
Right.
Yeah.
results, right? It's hard earned results. But even worse with ego lifting is that people usually just end up doing gimmicky stuff, right? Or posting or doing stuff in the gym, like with shortcut reps, cheat
Right.
reps.
Yeah.
um yeah, so that it might be, what do you call this, impressive for people who don't know better, right? For your that person's circle of friends or whatnot. But for, I know you guys are smiling because we're all coaches, right? And those things are more cringeworthy than anything else.
Yeah.
So
RJ's
yeah,
just
that's
trying to put it in a politically correct way.
yep,
It's a very
yep,
friendly way, yeah, of ego.
yep. Well, that's my style, right? You know. The expletive laden rant will be in a different channel, maybe.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So,
So
Mike,
yeah.
what's yours?
So I guess one of my biggest ones is just like, if you can pick it up and lift it, you can put it back. Right. So
Oh yeah. Yep.
so especially recently, like in the past few years, is working out at CrossFit gyms. Basically everything is a loose piece of equipment, right? Like you're not
Mm.
dealing with the machines, you're not dealing with the little thing. You just have to move to lift your weights. Like you're literally moving plates, like moving the weights is a workout already, right? So, so for me, it's like if you're gonna use it and you picked it up, put it back. I guess
Mhm.
that's just that's common courtesy too. I think that stretches over into life as well, right? So, yeah, put it back where you got it and wipe it down if you used it.
Mhm.
Doesn't get any more complicated than that, boys and girls. Right?
Oh, I'm hearing a bit of your restaurant background
Yeah,
there.
so yeah,
Huh.
that also comes from working as a chef for like 12 years or 15 years. So,
Clean
um,
your station.
right, making sure everything's clean because it's dangerous in the kitchen, man.
Right.
Yeah.
But like it like everything in general, I mean, like obviously, you want to be considerate and make sure it's cleaned up for the next
Yeah.
person, right? So
And it's dangerous in the gym too, right?
exactly.
You're for like a jiu-jitsu gym or a gym
Right.
where you go barefoot, it's like your athlete's foot, your ringworm and
Right.
stuff like that, right?
So that's the
Mhm.
cleanliness part. And then when you look at like possible injuries too, like people tripping over things,
Mm.
you know what I mean? I mean, even you guys know that in a strongman powerlifting or a CrossFit workout, you guys are moving heavy weights.
Yeah.
If you're leaving things on the floor and people are tripping over them, it's dangerous, right?
Mm.
So yeah,
And
definitely like, you know, put it back wherever you got it from, right?
Mhm.
So that's it. Pretty simple, I guess. JR?
cool.
Uh see, pet peeve is unsolicited advice from people who watch on social media
Uh-oh.
or in person. I mean, I've gotten a few comments, but even just from being in the gym or like seeing other people's posts, I see comments, I hear people give advice to people who are still new to the like fitness world or
Right.
powerlifting world or anything like that. And I hear a bunch of like I've seen one where someone said lift with your knees and not your back for someone's deadlift that I was coaching.
Right.
And I don't get some of the advice that people give. It doesn't make sense. Like they're
Yeah.
not even in the fitness world, so they
Right.
wouldn't know. And it's
Like,
like,
please explain.
yeah, it's
Right.
like, could you explain this for me? And then it's just very unnecessary unless someone really asks for advice. Like, oh, can you give me Q-tips on this lift or whatever?
Right.
Then I'll give it, or someone should give it, but not when they're not asking for it. Okay, just don't bother. Don't say anything to them.
Right.
Yeah, right. Social media is such a small snapshot of what you're doing, right? So
Yeah.
Right.
um anyone who's viewing it wouldn't really know like what you're working on,
Mhm.
what that photo means, right? So
Yeah.
it's easy to interpret it a certain way when maybe it's not really the same thing,
Mhm.
which is what's going on in reality. So it's pretty hard to um, comment those
Right.
things. Yeah,
Right.
Mm.
yeah,
All right.
agreed.
I guess onto more positive stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
One tip for training so that we can kind of keep it moving.
Cool.
RJ?
Yeah. One of my favorite tips that I advise a lot of people on would be to log your training. Um, Personally, I use a spreadsheet on Google Drive so I can access it with my laptop, with my phone. Super convenient.
Mm.
Right.
Uh, Before I've used notebooks and stuff like that, but yeah, spreadsheets much more convenient for me for um, putting numbers in, and
Right.
it doesn't get wet when you're sweaty. The phone's fine with that. So yeah, and I advise that uh, to most people, and I really like logging my training for two reasons. One, it's a lot easier to see your own progress when you log in your training. So if you're feeling down or you're just curious, so you want to see this thing that I'm doing work or not, right? If you look at the past 3, 6, 12 months of training, then you can either see, yes, the training is working, it's improving. I didn't realize that 6 months ago I couldn't do this thing that I can do now, right? Either that, or it'll give you a hard reality check where you'll see, okay, I'm not improving, so why am I not improving? Hopefully you'll be able to see also in that log the things that you might need to change or manipulate, the variables that you need to look at so that you can adjust, so that you can improve the results of your training later on. And that's connected to my second point, uh, where logging your past training makes it easier for you to plan your next workouts. Right? If
Right.
I did CrossFit, I've been doing CrossFit also for a long time, and with that you constantly vary your workouts, right? But you don't want to be super random, where your past training doesn't lead into the next training sessions, right? So even for something as simple as not tiring out the same muscle groups over and over again, like if you want to vary your training, you want to know what you did the previous training sessions so that you can do other things now or in the future, right? Because yeah, if you don't think about it, you might just end up doing the same things over and over again.
Right.
uh,
Mm.
or yeah, again, knowing the history of your training gives you a better picture of what workouts, what stimulus gives you the certain effect. So if you want to change the effect, then you'll have a better picture of what you need to change. So yeah, log your training.
Nice.
Nice. I guess for me, I'm going a little bit more macro. Um, is really just be consistent, right? No matter what it is, get some sort of movement in every day. I mean, even if it's just a 30-minute walk, right?
Mhm.
I think especially with the pandemic, it's important that um, since people are just at home, even like the normal activities they were doing previously, walking to the car, driving somewhere, getting out, walking
Right.
around the office, that's not happening now. So just make sure to get something in every day. Just be consistent. It doesn't always have to be super hard. um Obviously the more often you can kind of get your heart going a little bit is great. But even if you can't do that, then just go out, move around a little bit, walk around the block or whatever it is. So just be consistent, and to do something every day, I guess, would be my number one tip. um and then of course follow RJ and JR's advice as well.
Cool.
All right. The one tip that I would give is, even before any exercise, even if it's not lifting, so like running, jogging, is always warm up,
Right.
because that'll help the blood flow to the certain areas that you're gonna be using. So, specific lift, like for a squat, you're gonna want to do some warm ups with your legs, lunges, even, or a few stretches too, just to have the hips open up and you won't get so tight during the lift. And it's gonna prevent injury, even if it's light weight. You could still get injured if you don't warm up properly.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. And final scrapbook question here is your favorite fitness myth. Myth.
All right.
Okay, so I'll start. My favorite one is about uh, going after it every workout. A lot of people, a lot of people have this notion that you have to be very sore and very tired every workout just to know that you did good work, right? They want to feel
Right.
that burn. They
Mm.
want to feel that fire breathing sensation when you're doing cardio. Every time, every workout. Like they feel that if they went to the gym and they didn't get that tiredness, the soreness, that they're not doing 100% uh, that they can to improve their fitness, which especially as you study other training modalities and as you, well, as you age, right? So you find out that you want to be able to be more sustainable um, when you do your training. So soreness is good. Sometimes, but especially as you get used to a certain training program, that soreness will wane, and that's okay. It's a sign that your body is adapting to your current training program.
Mhm.
And as long as your performance is improving, as long as the metrics that you want to improve are improving, then you're good, right?
Right.
I see a lot of times this need to be tired, need to be sore, um, is a little bit linked to ego, but not really. It's linked to more like some, like doing the training for a different purpose, like trying to punish yourself, maybe, right? Some people want to have that sort of relationship with training where um I don't know, like we need like a long and hard conversation about what is it really that we're trying to do, because sometimes um, always being sore, always being tired can actually run your body down,
Right.
um, either
Mhm.
systemically, where you end up um, eventually in this state called overtraining, which doesn't really happen a lot. I've only actually seen it once, and that's the only time ever that I've told someone to stop training, to not go to the gym. Literally, I told the person, I don't want to see your face in the gym for the next week.
Right.
Um, and let's see after this week if you're going to start improving again, because he was training
Mhm.
like an insane amount, like 6 days a week or more. Like we'd go to the gym pretty much every day, and then when I talked to him, I realized that even outside the gym, he'd do his own running. So
Oh.
an insane amount of workload there, and he feels as though he's not improving. And when you look at his results, thankfully he did log his numbers. You see that he really wasn't improving.
Right.
So yeah, what are we trying to do here, right? So
Right.
you trying to get that sort of um, feeling of being tired every session might lead you into that spiral where you're just actually breaking your body down rather than providing just amount of stimulus for your body to build itself up stronger, right? So
Right.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so for pretty much for me, your physical training needs to really be about physical training. The other stuff, um, like ancillary to it or along that goes along with it is good, but actually, like yeah, if you're doing it for mental, improving your mental state, improving your mood. It also has to be done in a sustainable and reasonable manner, because um, again, if you're just always breaking your body down, that's putting your mental state, even you're putting your entire body into a stressful state. So it will actually perpetuate a situation where the entire as an entire person is always under a state of stress. So um, that is not a nice place to be, right? So
Right.
Mhm.
yeah, uh, that was a long and a bit of a rant for me, right? So yeah, take it easy, guys. Okay, that's it for
Right.
me.
So I guess for me, for all you guys and gals out there that are looking to lose weight, guys, you cannot spot target fat loss. What I mean is, like,
Yes, sir.
for you, for guys that are kind of working for their, their 6-pack abs or whatever it might be. Like you can't just lose fat on your belly and nowhere else. So, really, it's just being conscious, working out. The results will come when you put in the work, right? So there's no secret to getting 6-pack abs. It's, working out. It's actually 80% more your nutrition and diet than it is your working out. So that's pretty much, I think, for anyone that's looking to lose weight or looking to lose fat. First thing you probably should be more concerned about is your diet or your nutrition, and then you're working out, right? If you're working out 3 times a week, but eating shitty, you're not going to get what you're looking for. So again, really simple. You can't spot lose fat. You can't just lose love handles. You can't just lose, the little jigglies under your arms, or or the bigger thighs, whatever it is. You just got to get in the gym. You just got to work out, and you got to watch what you eat. That's it. Really simple.
All right.
And I think JR's kind of leads into that too, right?
Yeah. For me, the one myth that I always hear and that always bothers me is the no carbs, so no rice, no bread equals fat loss.
Right.
That's not a thing. Just because you cut out rice or cut out bread for a month does not make you lose fat. You actually need some carbs to move. Like it gives you energy. That's the thing.
Right.
So like it has to do with what Mike said too. You still have to go to the gym even if you have low carbs.
Right.
You still have to do some form of working out too. And then to add to the whole no carb thing, people still get their frappuccinos thinking it's not carbs. It's sugar.
Oh, wow.
Right.
That's still part of carbs.
Right.
So you just have to plan your diets correctly. So that includes carbs, fats, proteins, all of it. Everything is important, not just protein and fats, or not just protein. Everything's included.
I think just to add on to kind of JR's comment is, I guess, just diet culture in general.
Yeah.
Not every diet's going to work for every person. You kind of, nutrition is kind of a long-term thing. I mean, like certain diets are going to react to certain people a certain way. So it really is just, again, at the end of the day, for weight loss, it's calories in, calories out, right? But I don't want to make it that simple. It's also good and bad calories, right? So just remember, like, a fruit is probably better than a piece of candy. You know what I mean? Both have sugar in it, but it's just a cleaner source, right? So yeah,
But my carrots are gonna put me out of ketosis.
Oh no. I don't know what to say to that, man.
Don't even want to start on keto.
Right. But like, if you want to try it, go ahead. If it works for you, go ahead. Right. But just remember, the diet isn't the end all be all of nutrition, right? Each has its pros and cons. So just be aware of those.
Before you do the faddish stuff, before you do the gimmicks, do the simple things first, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, the low hanging fruit is easy. Like, if you're guzzling 2 liters of cola a day, it might make sense to kind of cut back on that. Cut it down in half or whatever, or altogether if you can, right? But it's just try to keep it simple, I guess, is the best thing, right? Like Jared was saying, it's not just about the carbs. It's not just about, certain things. It's your whole lifestyle in general. So I guess that's it, right? Is there anything else? How long have we been going already? Has it been a while? Seems like that was a long one, man.
30 minutes?
Yeah.
30 minutes? Perfect.
Cool.
Perfect.
So
that way they don't get sick of seeing our faces and hearing our voices, man.
So with that, I hope you guys all stay safe, stay home,
Right.
and we'll see you in the next one.
Peace.
Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more episodes.